The share price of Microsoft has had a great year or so, and just lately it's pushed out to its best levels ever, setting fresh all-time highs. So does this mean that Microsoft is set to record even further gains, or actually has the share price got ahead of the economic fundamentals for the company? I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at Microsoft, given the strength we've seen since the March lows of 2020, the strength that we've seen this year, and the latest move out to fresh all-time highs. It's been a great performer over the years anyway, and for now at least, clearly remains a popular one with investors. So I thought let's talk a bit about what's been happening with Microsoft, some of the levels to watch, then we'll come back onto this and look at the technicals in a bit more detail. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com, and this time round I thought we'd take a look at Microsoft stock price, all-time highs in the last couple of days. So I thought they're getting interesting. It will even more interesting. So let's take a look at them again. So as usual in this video, I'll talk a bit about what's been driving them. We'll look at some levels to watch, then we'll jump back onto the platform, look at the charts in a bit more detail and see what the technicals say. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, if you could click on subscribe. It's a new channel for us. And it'd be great to have your support, and it means we can continue to push out lots of different content during the week on the various stocks that we look at. Okay, let's get into it and take a look at Microsoft in a bit more detail. So just in case you didn't know, Microsoft was founded by, of course, Bill Gates and Paul Allen back in 1975 and came to the market in 1986. So that's the date you could have bought stock in Microsoft. They're known for lots of different products these days. Of course, it all started off with the PC operating system, Windows, then Internet Explorer, and then we have, of course, the Xbox, the Office suite of products, various cloud computing products as well. So a whole mix of different IT solutions. It's been a great performer, medium to longer term. Over the last 5 years, for example, we've seen the stock price up more than fivefold just this year. So year to date, we've seen the stock rise by about 22% to where it is now. The latest earnings for Microsoft came out in April, so we'll hear the next lot during July, but latest earnings, again, we beat expectations there for Microsoft, coming in at $1.95 earnings per share versus the $1.78 the market was expecting. Looking towards the future, we've got Windows 11 coming along, we've got a more modern interface for desktops and cloud computing as well. They're hoping that all of this will continue to grow the company's business. And as I said right at the beginning, in recent days, we've seen the stock hit fresh all-time highs. So Microsoft is now, at the time of recording, a $2 trillion company, second only to Apple in the S&P 500. So before we have a look at the chart, let's talk about their levels to watch. When it comes to resistance, when something's at all-time highs, all we have to go on is really psychological levels. So $275 to $300 if we were looking for a next target, I think, for the stock. On the downside, lots of support left on the way up. So if we do see it under some pressure, the first level I'd be watching for first support would be the 16th of June low, down at $264. But as usual, to put some color on these numbers, let's take a look at the chart in a bit more detail. So let's start things off with a moving average, 20-day moving average. Of course, the moving average is used to generate buy and sell signals. So when the price moves above the moving average, like here at the end of March this year, that was a buy signal as the price moved through, about $235 a share. And then when it fell down through here, through around $255 in late April, that was a sell signal. The latest signal we have was just at the beginning of June, with the price moving back above that moving average around $245 a share. That was a buy signal. So at the moment, the moving average, the last signal it gave was a buy. The price has continued to move higher, and you can see the price continuing to hold above that moving average. That moving average at the moment coming in around $262 a share. So we would need a fall of around $10 or so from where the price is now to generate a sell signal. Looking at the RSI down here, the RSI, perhaps not surprisingly, given the strength that we've seen, has moved into overbought, over the last few days. But as I often say, in a strong trending market, we can see the RSI give signals too early. So it can try and get us to go against the trend a little bit too early. So while it's something to note, it's definitely not the be all and end all when it comes to looking at charts, but it is suggesting the swing we're in the moment, perhaps it's getting somewhat extreme. But if we go back to this trend, it's pretty clear that trend is up. We've got a succession of higher highs, higher lows. The price recently broke out through the previous all-time high from late April. That was in at $263. So we've pushed through that by about $9 so far. And from a technical point of view, even if we did have weakness from here, as the RSI is suggesting, short-term weakness, technical analysts would treat it as a buying opportunity. We've got trendline support coming in at $250 a share. We've got bigger support back here, the May lows down around 237, and then even bigger support again back here in March at 224. So we've got a whole band of support. And for me, I think it's only if we start to break below those lows at 237 from May do we need to worry that perhaps this trend is starting to run out of steam. So again, I think a technical analyst looking at this would take the view that any dips are buying opportunities, and it's only if we slip below the May lows does it suggest that perhaps the trend is changing. When it comes to targets, I think it's always difficult when something is pushing out like this to fresh all-time highs. I think what we have to do is think about psychological levels, round numbers, $275, $300 a share. If we look at the size of the previous swing last time from the March lows at 230, the market traded up to 263. We've had a breakout again, so putting $30 on top of that, perhaps 295 would be some analysts' intermediate term target for this. But at the time of recording, clearly this trend is strong. Any dips for now still look like buying opportunities as long as that old May support holds. We'll come back to it and see how it performs from here. That's it for Microsoft. We'll see if they can continue to push out to even more all-time highs from here. But for now, from me, David Jones and Capital.com, we'll leave things there. Good luck with your investing. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.